'Twas night, the noise and bustle of the day were o'er. The mountebank no longer wrought miraculous cures, he and his stage were gone, and he who, when the crisis of his tale came, and all stood breathless with hope and fear, sent round his cap, and he who thrummed his wire and sang, with pleading look and plaintive strain melting the passenger. Thy thousand cries, so well portrayed, and by a son of thine, whose voice had swelled the hubbub in his youth, were hushed. Bologna, silence in the streets, the squares, when hark, the clattering of fleet hoofs, and soon a courier, posting as from far, and doublet, stained with many a various soil, stopped and alighted. 'Twas where hangs aloft that ancient sign, the pilgrim, welcoming all who arrive there, all perhaps save those clad like himself, with staff and scallop shell, those on a pilgrimage. And now approached wheels, through the lofty porticos resounding, arch beyond arch, a shelter or a shade as the sky changes. To the gate they came, and, ere the man had half his story done, mine host received the master, one long used to sojourn among strangers, everywhere go where he would, along the wildest track flinging a charm that shall not soon be lost, and leaving footsteps to be traced by those who love the haunts of genius, one who saw, observed, nor shunned the busy scenes of life, but mingled not, and mid the din, the stir, lived as a separate spirit. Much had passed since last we parted, and those 5 short years, much had they told. His clustering locks were turned grey, nor did aught recall the youth that swam from Sestos to Abydos. Yet his voice, still it was sweet, still from his eye the thought flashed lightning-like, nor lingered on the way, waiting for words. Far, far into the night we sat, conversing, no unwelcome hour, the hour we met, and, when aurora rose, rising, we climbed the rugged Apennine. Well I remembered how the golden sun filled with its beams the unfathomable gulfs, as on we travelled, and along the ridge, mid groves of cork and cistus and wild fig, his motley household came, not last nor least, Baptista, who, upon the moonlight sea of Venice, had so ably, zealously, served, and, at parting, thrown his oar away to follow through the world, who without stain had worn so long that honourable badge the gondoliers, in a patrician house arguing unlimited trust. Not last nor least, thou, toe declining in thy beauty and strength, faithful Moretto, to the latest hour guarding his chamber door, and now along the silent, sullen strand of Miss Solonghi howling in grief. He had just left that place of old renown, once in the Adrian Sea, Ravenna, where, from Dante's sacred tomb he had so oft, as many a verse declares, drawn inspiration, where, at twilight time, through the pine forest wandering with loose rein, wandering and lost, he had so oft beheld what is not visible to a poet's eye. The spectre night, the hellhounds, and their prey, the chase, the slaughter, and the festal mirth suddenly blasted. 'Twas a theme he loved, but others claimed their turn, and many a tower, shattered, uprooted from its native rock, its strength the pride of some heroic age, appeared and vanished, many a sturdy steer yoked and unyoked, while as in happier days he poured his spirit forth, the past forgot, all was enjoyment. Not a cloud obscured present or future. He is now at rest, and praise and blame fall on his ear alike, now dull in death. Yes, Byron, thou art gone, gone like a star that thro' the firmament shot and was lost, in its eccentric course dazzling, perplexing. Yet thy heart, methinks, was generous, noble, noble in its scorn of all things low and little, nothing there sordid or servile. If imagined wrongs pursued thee, urging thee sometimes to do things long regretted, oft, as many know, none more than I, thy gratitude would build on slight foundations, and, if in thy life not happy, in thy death thou surely wert, thy wish accomplished, dying in the land where thy young mind had caught ethereal fire, dying in Greece, and in a cause so glorious they in thy train, ah, little did they think as round we went, that they so soon should sit mourning beside thee, while a nation mourned, changing her festal for her funeral song. They that so soon should hear the minute gun, as morning gleamed on what remained of thee. Roll o'er the sea, the mountains, numbering thy years of joy and sorrow. Thou art gone. And he who would assail thee in thy grave, oh, let him pause. For who among us all, tried as thou wert, even from thine earliest years, when wandering, yet unspoilt, a Highland boy tried as thou wert, and with thy soul aflame, pleasure, while yet the down was on thy cheek, uplifting, pressing, and to lips like thine, her charmed cup, ah, who among us all could say he had not heard as much, and more,